Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to build this bass guitar from scratch for as cheap as I can possibly do it. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to experiment. We're going to see what we get in the end. If you're curious about that, stick around. Let's dive in. Okay, so I'm working on the body and I go in my workshop and I've got some scrap cutoffs that I had used for something else, but they're like perfect for this. Put them together at about 14 inches wide, which is good because I need to plane the edges, so I'm going to lose a little bit to get it down to about 12, and they're about 19 inches long, which is quite good. So what I was going to do is get the chop saw out and just chop one of these 2x4s, but that job is already done. So now I can just get the table saw out, and I've got a planing jig and use it to plane the edges. So that'll be my next task. All right, this is the body shape that I am going with. It's a little bit asymmetrical. Frankly, I didn't think too deeply about it. I just put some lines with pencil down and cut it out with a jigsaw, and I really like it. I need to do a little bit of sanding work to like round some edges, and I need to do a round over, but we're getting there. All right, I leaned even more into the asymmetry, and I did a much bigger cut so you can have higher fret access. Actually, I think it looks pretty cool. All right, this is my neck pocket. I don't know how clear it was, but basically I've got a router, I've got a straight bit. Now I set the depth of the neck to match the depth of the bit. And then what I choose to do is I draw a line and then I freehand it. And you can see here I'm a little bit proud of the line and it's not a straight cut. And you can see here too a little bit of this needs to be cleaned up. There's a little ridge here at the bottom and there's a part here I pulled a little bit out. But to be honest, this part here probably needs to be trimmed up. But I'm proud of the line, so I'm going to come back at it with a chisel. So I got to sharpen my chisel, and then I'm going to go through this and get this nice and snug and tight. And then what I do is I just have the neck with me, I've got the chisel with me, and then I just friction fit it. I want to get it in there so that it fits in nice and tight and smooth. Okay, I've given it the old-fashioned chisel. It's not perfect, I got a little messy down here. But this wall is actually pretty flat and pretty straight. It actually, and then this curve actually fits really quite nicely. It fits in there nice and snug. The fretboard sits really nice and plumb there. It just sits right on top. That's good. So then all I got to really do is clean up this line. And I think we're in business. This is kind of exciting. I do need to double check my line here. So I'll probably just take a straight edge and draw some pencil marks and make sure I'm centered. Because I at this point I could shave my direction a little bit here because my bottom side is open. So I could kind of twist or tweak the the directionality of the neck this way, make sure I'm centered nicely. But this is kind of exciting. All right, the neck pocket is really good. This is nice and flush. I would not call it absolutely perfect, but it is really, really close. It's also really quite good here on this inside. I think this is going to be fantastic. Drew my lines. This thing is centered. We are good to go with the neck pocket. All right, so I'm starting to think a little bit about placing some hardware. A couple of thoughts. So first of all, let's talk about the placement of the bridge. This is a 30-inch bridge, a 30-inch scale length. So if I put my tape measure right at 30, right on the point of contact of the nut, that puts me right about here. That puts my 12th thread right here at 15 inches. That's my halfway point. It looks perfect. Okay, so now I'm trying to locate the bridge vertically in this plane. So I took this string and I've got it taut here. And I'm looking to make sure that it's not like Kitty Wampus, that one side is favoring the other. That's looking really good. And then second, I still have my, if I put this 15 inches down on the 12th fret, I'm right at that point of contact. All right, the next critical decision is going to be placing the location of this pickup. This is a mini humbucker. Now, I guess first and foremost, need to figure out if these pull pieces go forward or backward. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I did some internet research, and it would tell me that the location of the pickup matters quite a lot. I think on an electric guitar, you think the difference on a Stratocaster between the neck pickup and the middle pickup and the bridge pickup, right? I mean, it's going to make a world of difference. So I did some research, and what I found was the jazz bass neck is like, this is a measurement from the 12th fret to the midline of the pickup, was about 10 7/8 of an inch. So that's this line. Then the P bass would be at 11 inches, which would be this line. And then there's also like the P bass bridge pickup, and the Mustang bass gets more into like the 13-inch area. So this is 12. So I've got mine here at 11, 12, and at 13 inches. So the question becomes, how do I want to voice this guitar? Do I want more of a bridge pickup sound? I'd put it right here. Be maybe a little bit brighter. This 12-inch would be kind of in the middle. This 11-inch would be more of a P bass. So that's going to be something I'm going to need to think about. My initial reaction would be to put it maybe more at this 12-inch, so it's kind of more in the middle. If I'm just going to have a single pickup. But yeah, maybe need to do a little bit of research on that. But that's kind of where we're at now. I need to pick the location, and then I need to get the hole routed out. All right, my phone died, battery died, and I kind of got rolling. I got the tuners installed. I'm going with this 3 on the top, 1 on the bottom. Actually, probably got a little bit thin here, but it's going to be fine. I'm actually think it's going to be great, more than fine. So the body's looking excellent, and the headstock is actually looking kind of cool. I dig it. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the strings travel through all of here. It might get a little funky, but I think it's going to be fine. All right, I'm getting to the end here, starting to get this thing set up, and I've got 2 problems. Number 1, because of the 30-inch scale and also the location of this tuner being so short, you can see here where I've trimmed the string, we've got these layers of windings. This top skinny part would fit in no problem, but the thickest part will not fit in here. It just gets stuck. It's not in there all the way. So, I either need to take some windings off the string or I need to enlarge this hole. And then my second problem, let's draw it this way. Okay, you can see that the pickup is centered very poorly. So, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's a bit of a whoops. So, yeah, we're going to need to move that puppy over. Okay, this part wasn't so bad. I just took a drill bit and gave it a little bit, ran right down the middle to enlarge that hole a little bit. Now this string fits in here, no problem, all the way down. Very good. Now this is going to be a bit of a harder problem to fix because I'm not 100% sure how I can do it without literally just taking all this stuff off. But maybe that's what needs to be done. Okay, so I've just been actually working with a chisel, and it's going really quite well. This wood is pretty soft, and my chisel is moderately sharp, and I can just kind of work this away. And I think we're going to be fine. Able to move it. Actually, this little tab is probably the hardest part because that's where the cord goes through. And honestly, I might just need to unsolder it, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to keep trying this. Okay, this pickup has been centered quite a bit better. And actually, I think it's going to be fine. I just made a little more of a gap, and I think it's going to be okay. And then I made a channel in here to get this string to sit in nicely, and this thing is ready to test. All right, a couple little updates. I was giving the bass a little setup, and when I was playing the open note to pitch, and then I played the 12th fret, the note was flat, which means the saddle needs to come this way, and I reached the point of maximum travel. So I goofed up a little bit with my bridge placement, so I've unscrewed it. I've moved it just a couple millimeters in this direction, and that should be fine. So the old holes are like right underneath this silver bar, so that should help a little bit. The other problem we're having is, if you look, if I just show this very generally, the location of these pole pieces, these violin pickups, are too small. So, I don't know, these violins pickups must be expecting a string spacing that's quite a bit more narrow. So, what I'm actually probably going to do, I mean, I really like this bridge, but you can see there's gap on either side. And it wasn't such a problem on the low string, but the high string it wasn't really producing a full sound because I don't think the magnet was sensing the way the pickup was ringing out. So, I'm probably going to try a different pickup in here, something wider, maybe a Music Man. But then the biggest thing we really need to do is we need to address these fret ends. I don't know how well you can see this, but they are pretty sharp. You can see the line there. So we're going to give them a little dressing. We're trying the big zoom here. I know it's a little wobbly, but this fret is sharp. You can see the sharp lines all the way around. Then this fret, you can see on the left, I've rounded it. On the right, it's still sharp. And then this one is rounded on both sides. That's what you really want. Okay, so I've been sound testing the bass, and the big issue right now is the pickup in relation to the string spacing. You can see these pole pieces are expecting a much narrower string spacing. Kind of done the best I can, but what you can see is that the low 3 strings sound really good and full, but this high string sounds really bad. So I'm going into my audio interface, into my DAW here. I've got an amp simulator set up, and you kind of hear what I'm talking about. So we'll play each of the strings. Sounds nice and full, and then the A string. And up to the D string. And then up to the G string. I just don't think there's enough of this pickup covering where the string is vibrating. So, yeah, I got another pickup coming in the mail that'll be wider and fit the string spacing much better. Okay, I got the new pickup in the mail. This is the old one. You can see it fits much better. It aligns with the string spacing. I basically just drew an outline where I wanted it, and I just took a chisel, started hammering out chunks, and we're just going to work the chisel around until it fits. The only thing is it's got these 3 mounting screws, which is kind of goofy, but Alright, so this is it. This is my homemade, handmade bass guitar. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the building process, the tone clips. I am quite thrilled with this thing. It is comfortable to play. The 30-inch scale is just a little bit closer and intimate. The strings aren't quite as stiff. It just feels very comfy to play, especially maybe as coming from this from a guitar player standpoint. I just find it really comfortable. Honestly, these really cheap tuners stay in tune really well. This like $17 pickup sounds really good. It's just straight to the volume control to the output jack, so it is no nonsense. This bridge has some nice mass to it. I think actually this body, even though it's being like kind of this cheap 2x4 pine mystery wood, it actually sounds really good. It sustains well. It just is a dead simple, highly effective bass guitar. And you know what? This oil finish on here is not providing hardly any protection, and I am fine with that. This is a guitar that is meant to go and get dinged and get played and be gigged. And, you know, honestly, the work that I did on the fretwork, getting these fret ends to feel nice and smooth, is really making all the difference. And a good setup, the action plays nice and low. I'm thrilled with how this thing turned out. I'm probably not even $100 into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. This thing is handmade, homemade, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks. Bye.